Hi, fourth graders. We are back today and we are working on M3L27. And guys, we are going to get into our long division practice. So when you are done with your table of contents, remember you can pause and then flip over to our note page. Whoopsie, here we are. All right, fourth graders, we had our introduction to our standard algorithm yesterday. I can solve 3-digit dividend division problems with the standard algorithm. Remember, this standard algorithm we can also call long division. And remember, oh boy, it gets long. That's why we call it that, because it drags way down under the problem. So a few things to remember when we divide using this division sign. Okay. The dividend is inside the house. This is our dividend. The divisor is out here. So even though this number is coming first, I still read the problem. 346 divided by 2. And my quotient, the answer, is the only thing that gets to be written on top of the house. And so we're going to go ahead and get started. I have our steps up here for us. So we divide, multiply, subtract, bring down, and repeat. Okay. So the first thing I am going to ask myself is, how many groups of 2 can I make with 3? Well, if I have 2, I can make 1 group. I had 3 and I needed to make 2 in a group. Now, I did my divide step. My next step is to multiply. And I take this number I just wrote. 1 times 2 equals 2, and I write that below. That was my multiplied step. Check it off. Now is my step that tells me I'm going to subtract, and I take 3 minus 2 equals 1. Check off my subtract. The next thing I do is, because there's still more up here, I'm going to bring down my 4 right here. So I'll check off my bring down. And then I get to repeat. And when I get to the repeat, we're going to circle to start over. Check here. So now I start over, and guess what, friends? I'm coming all the way back up to my steps to divide again. But I'm going to ask myself now, how many groups can I make with 2 in a group? And that would be 7. 7 times 2. Now notice, I did not take 17. I just take the number I just wrote, because I'm only doing 7 times 2 equals 14. And I write that down below. So I did my divide step when I wrote 7 on top. I multiplied 7 times 2. I multiplied, and I write down below 14. My next step is to subtract. 14 minus 14 equals 0. I subtracted. My next step says to bring down, so I have to bring my 6 all the way down here. I'll check off my bring down. And then I repeat and start again. I'm going to circle it. Now, I know that I can repeat because I can still get 2 to work with my 6. It's not a remainder yet. So how many groups of 2 could I make with 6 altogether? I could make 3 groups. And that was my divide part, because I had 6 that I'm going to pass out to 2 groups, and I got 3 in each group. So now I can multiply. 3 times 2, I'm going to check off my multiply, is 6. So sorry. Then I know I'm going to subtract. 6 minus 6 equals 0. There is nothing else for me to bring down, so I'm going to put an X, because I didn't need to do that step. I brought everything down I needed. And then it's going to tell me repeat or remainder. Is there anything else left for me to divide? No, I have 0. And that means I don't have a remainder either. And so my quotient and my answer is 173. So we just went through our long division steps, friends, and I think I did it correctly. But I always want to check my work. And so we check our work by we multiply the numbers on the outside to see if we get the number on the inside. And so that means I'm going to take my quotient, 173, times 2, my divisor. So I do my quotient times my divisor. So 3 times 2 is 6. 2 times 7 is 14. I can write my 4 and regroup my 1 in the next column. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3. Oh, the number on the inside. I checked it off. Nice job. 4th graders, we're going to do one more long division problem. Now, the more we practice, guess what? The more comfortable you're going to be. It's the same steps over and over. And so once we get the hang of it, you will be able to complete this and not worry. So let's look at our next problem. It says, remember, I still read it with my dividend first. 516 divided by 3. All right, so my first steps, I'm going to divide. So I have 5 in my hundreds, and that's what I need to pass out. How many can I get in my 3 groups? If I imagine a picture, I can just do 1. I can get 1 in each of my 3 groups. So now I'm going to multiply. 1 times 3 equals 3. I write that down below. I'm checking my steps as I go. My next one is to subtract. 5 minus 3 equals 2. I had 2 left over in the hundreds place. So I subtracted. And now I'm going to bring just 1 at a time down. And I'm going to start over and repeat. I brought down and I'm going to repeat now with 21. So that means I have 21 items. I'm going to put them into my 3 groups. How many could I fit in my 3 groups? If you said 7, you are correct, and that goes on top. So I have 7, that's my divide. Now I do 7 times 3. Remember, I just do the 1 digit I write. 7 times 3, this is my multiply, is 21. Now I can subtract. 21 minus 21 equals 0. That's my subtract step. My next step says to bring it on down. And again, I can bring 1 at a time, so I bring that 6 all the way down to travel. And now it says to repeat or remainder. Well, I have enough. What I have circled is larger than my divisor, so I can divide again. I have 6 items that I need to put into 3 groups. So how many can I put into each group? I can fit 2. That is your divide step. Now I'm going to multiply. 2 times 3 equals 6 down below. I'm going to check off my multiply. My next step is to subtract. 6 minus 6 equals 0. I'll check my subtract. My next step says to bring down, but friends, we brought everything down, so I don't do that step. And I can repeat or remainder. Are there any more left to pass out? Nope. Are there some left that didn't get in a group? No. So my answer, my quotient, is 172. Nice job. I think I did that correctly. But I always want to check my work because sometimes we make mistakes. We multiply because multiplication is the opposite of division. The numbers on the outside to see if we get the numbers on the inside. So I'm going to take my quotient, 172, and I'm going to multiply it by my divisor, 3. And now I can multiply. 3 times 2 equals 6. 3 times 7 equals, you guessed it, 21. 3 times 1 equals 3, plus 2 equals 5. My answer is my dividend, which was my goal. Friends, you did a great job. Stick with that long division. Use your steps as you go through to check off and know what is coming next. Very nice job today.